All right, here we are for round one with our mostly black zombies deck. We won the die roll, so yeah, without knowing what we're playing against, we'll certainly take the play. Um, Sand's a little expensive, but I'm certainly going to keep it.
Oh,
I,
I am inclined to mulligan.
mm,
We're
I
on the play, right?
yep.
I don't know. You can keep it, and that's
Well, I
fine.
mean, what's the texture of the hand you're looking for
So
to
the
mulligan to
texture, like I
six?
would like some of our two drops, like the dragoons, to help turn on those twins draws. But like we can keep this and see how it plays out. But I think I would be inclined to mulligan for a more aggressive start. But
I
this
don't
is
know.
fine.
I don't think our deck's very aggressive.
Okay. This is we'll keep this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't want to like fish for something and then be stuck with an awkward six that we keep because of the scry. So it's certainly not the best we could have, but I think it's, to me at least, it's a not exciting, but firmly a keep. If that makes sense. Our opponent is mulliganing, so that is nice. This is interesting though. I wouldn't have had an internal discussion about whether or not it was actually a mulligan. So
Yeah, I just feel like if we play this game out the way like Tooth Collector is never gonna get turned on. So its value is just being a 3/2, and then we have to draw lands and other spells.
that's where all the take inventories went.
Yeah, if he has take inventories, I would lean towards him being blue red, and he might be stuck off mana. So
Yeah, that's a reasonable guess. All right, I'm going to start off Stitch Mangler here.
I would just, I mean, so like he mulliganed to 6. He might be color screwed. I would probably just get the most aggressive creature in, and then use Stitch Mangler to clear the way for a attack for 3. Like as we said earlier, Tooth Collector's not going to be great in the full format of -1/-1. So I'd probably just get the bigger power on the board.
So the reason I was thinking Stitch Mangler was just something to trade with at a certain point, and then I think bringing it back with this and
I think
just kind of
it's
being a good
likely.
blocker, better
I think
blocker.
it's likely to trade anyways. But I think we want to try to. Well, he lost connection, so he's gonna give us some time. But yeah,
Well,
I
let's
would
go.
get 3 power on the board and try to deal as much damage as possible.
Oh, I'll get the clock over to him. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I do tend to play conservatively, but well, he came back pretty quickly. He's going to play a 2/1 wolf, and I'm going to feel pretty smart. I'm just kidding. I think the plan of tapping whatever this is. Yeah, so there you go. Keeping that guy locked down is certainly pretty nice. I think I might just actually offer a trade.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable as well. If you want to throw out the Galvanion on Hollowed as well.
Yeah, I'm going to put this out first and then offer the trade, of course. But yep. I mean, with our next turn play, potentially being Midnight Scavengers, certainly behoves us to trade. That,
I'm not never inclined to do a block here. This
yeah,
just
no.
doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, it makes sense that he wants to, pump it up and trade with our 2/4. Certainly going to
Well,
look for
the
anything.
only reason it would make sense is if we wanted to tie up his mana for a turn.
Yeah.
But since we have Stitch Mangler, I'm not as worried about that.
No, yeah, I'm not either. I also just don't want to. I don't want to trade this for this. I mean, we still got a Ruthless Disposal we can draw to or an Abundant Maw, so this guy can certainly get big. Not that I wouldn't trade it if it was, later on, but all right, that is actually fine. We didn't really want to be on our 5 yet, anyways. get the attack in and pass it over. So far, it's not looking like dead weight's going to be great against him. It's fine to kind of neutralize the scab, but I would like to get it to kill something, ideally. It is a little unfortunate we never did get another bite at trying to pick up a Graph Rats. But we will, should still be fine. All right, starting to get into the considering holding lands territory here.
Yeah, I would probably just keep every land in the rest of this game. We don't need any more, and we need discard outlets to give our guys flying. I would probably just
Yeah,
bring the entire team in.
yeah, I'm gonna bring the team here. If he wants to trade off of my unhallowed, I will probably use Rise from the Grave this turn. And if he wants to, if he has a Prowess trick for the Mangler, that's fine too. Lets me cast Scavengers and get some value off of that. Obviously a few things that could go wrong here, but with 6 open mana and 3 cards, he's not going to be too inclined to get too frisky, hopefully. Hmm. I think he might have a Savage Alliance line. Oh, no.
I'm thinking Fate's Fortune,
I
but
think
that doesn't kill our guy, so I don't know why he would.
I think it's Savage Alliance. I think he's going to get the Prowess trigger. No? Okay, he's just going to do. That was weird. I don't know why I thought we'd pass priority past this point, but that makes sense. Okay. Uh-oh. Is he giving a first strike? Uh, well, okay, I guess that still just works too. It's going to give us a counter, but the Prowess trigger is going to make it a 5-2.
Yep, and it also gets to trade with his guy now, so finding out the way this worked out.
Yep. And we'll just go and get back the Tooth Collector.
And if he keeps three toughness back, it's gonna let us swing in through his guy here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it won't kill it, but obviously just shrinking it down to enabling an attack is still pretty good. Might blank a card for a turn on his side, where he's got a X1 that he thought about playing. Possibly one of the vampires. Mainly whatever the 4-1 is that gets counters, though. Not too likely to see that in this format. This is aggressive.
It's a show of force.
I think he might be playing a land and a 4-4 werewolf on us post combat. That's my best guess. Nope. It's a very interesting and I think probably, well, we'll see what he has. I don't want to call it a mistake at this point, but it's kind of looking like a mistake. It's a pretty good draw. So I think we just take out his 3-3. Is there any reason to do
Well, I
Collector
would
3
attack
versus
first.
posts? Yeah, he might be more inclined. Yeah, I
If you're
mean,
are you gonna play Tooth Collector this turn?
I am. So I
So
think we.
I would do it before you attack.
What are we? What would we hit? The Fury Blade?
I mean, I don't think it matters. He's tapped out, so
I mean, it doesn't matter, but I want to think about maybe I can entice him to do something.
yeah, you could do it on Fury Blade if you want to try to trick him into make him block with the 0/1.
I guess if he has like something good madness to do next turn, getting a 4/2 trampler is going to be.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Actually, we just attack first, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's more likely to. I don't. Whatever he's thinking, I don't want to. I don't want to ruin his train of thought. So, all right, he just takes it. So that was all. Not necessarily the most useful exercise. All right. Shrink whatever. All right,
Doesn't
and
matter.
yeah. No. And then we just take out the 3/3 here.
Question is what are you gonna boom here?
I think just the 3/3.
Are you gonna? Well, think about this. So, like the Fury Blade Vampire can let him do some stuff for cheaper with Madness. Hold on. I can see where. Yeah. Just take out the 3/3. Let's our
Yeah.
Stitch Mangler swing in, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's a little. I think if he wants to posture aggressively at this point, we're fine with that.
I will say this also lets us use our Rise for the Grave to
Yep.
cut off his red source.
Exactly. I was just about to mention that. I think our achievement for this draft will be to rise from the grave someone's Graph Rat. Actually, that doesn't work the way I want it to, does it? How does meld work? Does it actually exile it and bring it back?
Yep. You have to own both cards.
Uh, I own plenty of them in my account. Should count. So that will not be an achievement this draft. That's something we should actively avoid doing. All right. He chooses not to use the thing and just passes. Oh, that's a pretty good pickup. So I think we're going to just attack with everything and entice him into doing something. Because right now, I mean, he can blank the Stitch Mangler, but he doesn't have good blocks otherwise, and he's going to one.
So, were you going to play Rise for the Grave this turn?
Yes, but
Why
I
would you not want to
because
cast it?
because I can get something out of his hand to try to to try to make the combat better for him, and I can blow him out, get that thing out of his hand, and then lock down his source on the way back. All right. So 2 and 1. Now he's going to do all this. I think I'm going to let this happen. Bounce the creature that blocks the Midnight Scavenger. And then possibly.
Midnight Scavenger's going to die. He's going to block
Oh,
one of
right,
them,
right.
Tooth Collector.
And one of them on the. So do I guess I bounce the one that's on the Tooth Collector.
Correct.
Yeah, sorry. I saw this 2 damage and didn't consider the rest of the card for a second there.
But
Confident I would have gotten
fine also just letting the Tooth Collector die because you're going to you can rise from the grave your Midnight Scavenger.
that. Yeah, that's a pretty good play too. Yep.
If both of his creatures block here, then I would probably lock down his red source. So you have multiple ways you can go here, but this way at least gets his 2 creatures.
All right. I am going to play out my land here. I think whatever possible future or marginal value of keeping it in hand is not going to beat the value of having this available to us this turn. See, I thought he might Savage Alliance a turn before that. but I did not anticipate it. If we had really considered Savage Alliance, then I did like your line better of getting this out
I
before
think it just
combat.
forces him to play any tricks before we attack, like whatever his trick is,
Hmm.
so that we have perfect knowledge
Yep.
going into that attack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, perfect
And
knowledge wastes of red.
we also get to lock down his red source, as well as we can then bounce his creature. We can get in completely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, certainly we'd probably be winning this coming turn. So certainly an interesting situation. A lot of targets, a lot of different ways to go that affect the game in different ways. Still think we're in a winning position, but that we probably did not. Well, I probably did not take the best line, but Charles, I think did see it. All right, so we'll go to combat here. Oof. Oh. All right. We might be using just the one on our Midnight Scavengers here. Well, let's see.
Well, he can't kill both our guys, so keep that in mind.
No, I know. But let's see what he does. Oh, I think he's trying to figure out how to cast it first.
Yeah, like so you can kill one of our guys, and that'll tap him to 4 mana. Um, I assume
Huh.
that he kills Midnight Scavengers because it's bigger, which I still think it is probably not correct to bounce it. It could be, but
Oh, this is unfortunate. I think our opponent just misclicked on the spell.
well, I
Um,
mean,
I
yeah,
certainly don't think he meant to cast it for one.
we I don't know. Were you in that conversation with Jeff that we were talking about on Saturday night after the Open about testing on Moto?
Um, I heard you guys talk about cockatrice on
Yeah,
Saturday.
we were talking about how testing on Moto sometimes it's just not relevant testing
Yeah,
sometimes because of situations like this. Like you're hoping your opponent either doesn't know how the interface works, or he times out, or he misclicks, like just simple stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, it's certainly we can at least think about, what would this game look like if this was gone. I actually, well, I mean, let's discuss it here for a second. I actually had a sealed game the other day, and it was in that casual league I accidentally joined. So the guy casts a what is it? Chilling Grass, the 4 mana, the 3 mana card that taps two things. And it's
Sure.
clearly he meant to tap my two best ones, and he only tapped one of mine. So he, said in the chat like, "Oh crap, I meant to do this." So I was like, "All right, I'll just pretend it's tapped." It was a pretty much a board stall anyway, so I just did an attacker block with it for a turn cycle.
That could happen in real life too. Did you see what happened with Serrani in his like round 14 of the Open?
No, I did not.
Well, he cast Descend upon the Sinful with Delirium, or he thought he had Delirium. Found out after it resolved and all these decisions had been made that he did not get an Angel token, and actually just did not attack with it or block with it the rest of the game. So and it can happen in real life too.
Where you just, do the right thing, kind of.
Yeah, I mean that's what he did. Like he
Yeah,
just did.
just making sure I understood. Yeah, no, that's certainly sporting. Um, so convolute's worth thinking about here. I like it a little less on the draw.
Yeah, I would leave out Convolute. In fact, the only card I would consider boarding in would be Stormrider Spirit. He's playing blue red, so I kind of like having access to flash creatures.
You want to cut maybe one twins? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know whether we cut twins or even like something.
Gavinion Hollow, perhaps.
I mean, yeah, maybe
It's
Galaxy.
such a good
Or
blocker, though.
what's that?
I don't know. That's such a good blocker, and it's actually a pretty good threat in this,
Oh, how
especially
about
with
we
the
cut
triple.
the dead weight we were considering cutting?
That's a good point.
We saw one creature that it was worthwhile on. I'm fine cutting it on the draw. I'm fine not cutting it.
I mean, it's
I
better on the draw than the play in a
Yeah, I'm
vacuum.
fine. I'm fine either way you want to go with it, but
So how badly is your intuition tell you that we should have Storm Rider Spirit in the deck?
you know my intuition. It just comes up every now and then. I'm not too attached to it.
Okay, so like I think the consideration here is probably, if we go to a game three, see how this plays out, see if that's something we want to bring in, and see if dead weight's something we want to take out. I think this configuration is still probably,
Alright,
fine. So
fine
I'm
with
gonna
that
run
as
it
well.
back. uh, well, I think this was going to be one we mulligan.
Uh,
I knew you were going to.
I am greedy. You know
I
I
I
would keep
know.
this hand.
I know. I know.
You know I would keep this hand. It draws one land. We're good to go. We discard one card, get a zombie, and then we just play the Wailing Ghoul. We have three zombies, and we start drawing cards.
He showed
I would
us a
keep doing
galvanic bombardment game one though. Like he's got cheap interaction to take out a crypt breaker and just make us look
that.
uh,
That's on you. I would
beyond
totally keep
silly.
this hand.
I think this is a mulligan. I'm
Oh,
sorry everyone who is watching who's itching to be greedy and to live on the knife's edge. I am far too lame to do something so
ugh.
much fun. Well, we're keeping this hand. I think it's objectively better than the last one. The last one had more upside.
I mean, the last one I feel like if there's a land in our top two cards, which I think is above 50%, we are like 80 to 90% to win that game.
Well, so 33, so it's 16 divided by 33 plus 16 divided by, well, no, yeah. No, I mean 50% of the time we do hit it, but 50% of the time we don't. So I don't, I think we are in a good enough position to not have to take a coin flip or and
I
certainly
mean, I
certainly
don't
missing
think,
one land drop cycle lose the game outright, but it's going
yeah,
to take a lot of our
I don't think
value.
I think it's high, well, much higher than a coin flip, but I think it's just one of those things where it's like if it's greater than 50%, I would just go with it.
Oh, well, this hand got great.
Well, this is what I wanted to mulligan in game one, so I'm fine with this now. But
Um,
well, but if he has that bombardment, we get him here. So
He's got that cryptolith fragment. All right. Attack for two. Inconspicuously pass turn. Well, do we want to open ourselves up to a counterspell? He doesn't have a creature.
nope. If he either advances his board or he keeps up counterspell, we'll know either way.
All right, we'll pass. And we can actually still just get it back. Worst case scenario. Unless he denies existence, in which case
Yeah, like,
let's
if
not go
if
back.
he wants to keep up counterspell, that's fine. We just won't play it. Like it'll
Hmm.
make it that much more of a surprise when we do have it.
Think I'm probably playing it, even if he keeps up counterspell. Drawing two cards. That's pretty sweet.
No, he didn't keep up counterspell.
Yeah, this is coming in. I've done this 100 times, but I'm still every single time I'm still so worried I'm gonna mess this up. Interface is not exactly holding your hand to that. All right, so I think we just.
No, no, no. I would attack first. You're not greedy like I
he's
am.
not. He's not gonna block.
I mean, he blocks if he has a trick.
I mean, why open ourselves up to it? I mean,
Well, you know me. I like to get greedy.
no, not getting around that trick anyways. Guess there's not really a compelling reason to use this dead weight here.
I mean, we could just cast our dragoons again if you really want to get aggressive. It's not a zombie, but we only have four in our deck, I think. So we're not. Are we waiting around to get value out of cemetery recruitment?
I find whenever I'm able to make myself be more disciplined with spending my spells, I usually am happy for it. That said,
I like playing using my mana efficiently. Like
yeah,
we have four mana, we don't have anything else to do. Like if we just draw lands for the rest of this game, we're gonna look like idiots.
I think we might already look like idiots, but
Well,
it's still a pretty good reason.
you do for mulliganing that this hand.
That sweet hand.
That hand was awesome.
That hand was awesome if we drew nothing but lands for 3 turns.
Well, we just need to draw one land.
Okay.
And then we were just going to start drawing cards. It's
If we
going to be
drew
amazing.
3 lands out over the next 4 turns, then yes. If it was 2 lands, I would obviously keep it. But as it turned out, I think there's a reasonable chance. Well, no, I guess he just drew that. All right.
I
So
think I'd probably just dead weight it here and get in some damage. Actually, you can just discard a land.
I
Just
was
discard.
I was leaning towards discarding a land.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah. I am going to play out this island though, but not until after combat. So by discarding a land here aggressively, it does kind of give a pretty strong hint to our opponent about the texture of our hand.
It's fine. He doesn't know we have a dead weight. I mean, he hasn't done anything for most of the game.
All right,
Yeah.
this is fine too. We get to deadweight that off. Not loving this position.
I mean, it's not great, but he also hasn't done anything either, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree, but
And he just discarded a land
yeah.
as well, so
So applying what we said about ourselves, that gives us a hint that he probably has at least one more land in his hand. Can't beat the amount of lands we have though. All
I'm
right,
glad we mulliganed to this.
we made the right decision with the information available to us at the time. I think he's holding 2 lands as well, so not anymore, but he was. Ugh. That is surprisingly gross. Pitching another land. Yep. All right. Well, I think we take a defensive posture here.
We're gonna need to draw some spells.
Yeah, I'm still going to hold this land.
Keep in mind that he's also gonna turn his fragment on this turn, so we're in trouble.
No, I know. All right, so I'm low enough where if I can stabilize soon, I should be in an advantage position. Ruthless Disposal will be a reasonable draw.
Or certain death. Those are the two we need to draw.
Elusive Tormentor would probably be good enough, unless he adds something else nasty to the board.
I mean, Elusive Tormentor is going to be a one-turn thing. Like, this guy's going to kill us.
You're right. That I misjudged you. So we would not have a. All right. Well, I'll play this land out. Certainly reasonable that we just die next turn.
I mean, we'd have to get even like a Ruth. You were basically dead. Like, Ruthless Disposal doesn't do anything.
Sure. Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right.
Certain death gives us a turn.
Hmm. I'm certainly feeling pretty dead here, but no. Curious what he has that he feels so safe to do into 6 open mana, but There's no indication that we're holding anything good. Yeah, that does it. So, I still don't think Storm Rider Spirit's really.
Yeah, I'm fine not playing it, but
Yeah, I don't think Convolute feels right either. God, it's so much 3 toughness stuff. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna swap in for a Convolute. I don't love it, but what do you think?
I think it's fine. I'd either play the Convolute or the Whispers or the Vessel. Anxious Robot said, "Good game so far. Your deck is great." Anybody knows anything about my luck manipulation? That means he's going to win this game now. There you go. Get him back. Get him back.
For those of you not familiar, if you're not, local to our area or friends with Charles on Facebook, Charles has bought in wholesale to the idea of, well, the idea of luck, but reversed. So wishing someone luck or going out of your way to try to make someone feel or become lucky is bad luck. So thus wishing bad luck on someone, just think like opposite day, and that's where you
It's
are.
similar to the theater tradition of wishing someone to break a leg before a big performance.
Yeah. Man, he hasn't even seen our Crypt Breaker, and doesn't look like he's going to this game either. I'm certainly keeping. Again, I mean, our deck just in and of itself may not be too exciting, but we certainly have an uphill battle. Oh, he mulliganed the 6. So I don't think we have an uphill battle this game necessarily, but this draft, it's going to test our acumen. Considering how light on blue we did end up, I do think that, looking back now with hindsight, that the Gisela followed by the 2 choking restraints would have provided a little bit more punch, would have been a little bit better. It's something to think about whether or not it was this.
I'd probably just
They
drop the
flip
Thraben Foul Bloods here.
off of the trade.
They're the same creature except for one has an enter the battlefield ability, and that enter the battlefield ability is worthless right now.
Well, I also think getting this guy to trade early is better with the cemetery recruitment in our deck as well.
Yeah, I don't know if we're trading yet though.
Sure, but I mean, putting him out here this early, we're gonna be attacking him with him most likely. I just haven't seen a target for this guy yet. Yeah, I mean, this has just kind of been my experience with this guy, with this next, with this newer draft format. It's just doesn't seem to be on the hunt as much as it used to be.
I'm fine taking 2 here.
Yeah, my something in me is telling me to block.
No, I mean feel free to block.
Yeah, the problem is there's too many things that he could cast that just makes it feel really bad, but he's gonna cast them at some point in this game and make us feel bad anyway. If I screw up, my friends are going to all make fun of me. Believe me, I'm in a similar situation.
Did he say stream high five?
Yeah,
Is he streaming?
apparently he is.
Or do you think he remembers the old school stream?
Am I okay? Oh, I think he himself is a streamer. Oh, that was. This guy is chatty. This feels like something you would do on the other end. I think I just want to go ahead and I'm going to attack. I don't think he'll trade. I think it's pretty free. And I think if he does trade, it's not the end of the world. I actually don't mind raising this thing back. But I do think we go ahead and merge here. You agree? Oh, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Charles may have stepped away for a second, but it's good use for mana. Puts a pretty strong threat on the board. Our opponent's missing land drops.
Yeah, I
And
feel good about it.
yeah, if he gets feisty with an attack and we block, we still have spontaneous mutation to get him back.
And we also have Rise from the Grave Ring.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So. I'm tempted to tell him that I'm not okay and to please attack. I've been playing a lot of Magic Online for a while now. I've never seen someone this talkative. It's good fun. No, I'm going to attack. He didn't want to attack into us, so it's unlikely he has a good trick. Yep, I think it's just chump block duty here. Could end up a turn off here where we have to pass if he has a removal spell, but it's already showing us one galvanic bombardment. All right. Oh, when he started tapping mana, I certainly thought it was dead, but
Yeah, I thought I.
so I think we're just, it's an unfortunate situation for our opponent who did mulligan this game. Just being stuck. Probably has a handful of very good cards, and this would probably be a challenging game to win with our relatively sparse resources. But in the position we're in now, especially since it doesn't appear made a land drop. It's not looking too good for him. I don't like the fact that he didn't attack there, unless he just happened to draw something there that changed his board. I mean, I guess he showed a willingness to chump block with this before, but I think his best bet to win this game is to hope to draw out of his current situation, and a winning board state probably involves having this guy around. So he might still, not block with it.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. We'll get to show him, but we're gonna start off with an attack. So yeah, I'm gonna guess that he's not gonna block here, and it's just gonna show you, example of when you should be attacking. I mean, he may have something that he drew lined up that he wants to. Would I have a stop in my own attack phase? Did that for some reason. All right, well he's blocking. Let's see if he has anything. Well, this is not gonna go well for him.
Are you thinking about Rise from the Grave in this turn? I know I am.
You just want to dump the whole hand?
I want to dump the whole hand. I want to Rise from the Grave, his zombie, and I want to play Crypt Breaker.
All right, hear me out. Are you a little bit worried about Nihiri's Wrath? I think that's the one card he could cast here that could.
Oh, the mythic.
Yeah, I mean we might be. Well, so it's more likely that the hands that he ends up winning with
All
are
right. Well,
he
then
just
just play
draws lands straight
just
away.
play Crypt Breaker. Just play Crypt Breaker. We'll play it slow. Play around every card in the format.
Well, it may be unreasonable,
No,
but
it's fine.
The other reason I don't love that is it makes us have to play this land right now, and I kind of want to use that land to, make a zombie. So I think next turn
It's fine.
we can look to do that.
It's
I
fine.
do also think a way he wins this game is removing this card, so I like having the ability to get it back. I might also be influenced by having just recently watched a Reed Duke video where he won a draft basically on the back of a Nihiri's Rats. Ugh. Well, we will not be rising from the grave this guy, I have a feeling. Double incendiary flow?
Dual.
Dual shot. Oh god, it's basically dual shot. That's pretty good. All right. Well played. All right, we are in some trouble now. For sure.
Wish we could attack this turn.
Well, good news.
Yeah,
We drew
you
our
luck
best
sack.
card.
Luck sack.
Well, that's what we strive to bring you here. Kind of want to bring back the Foulbloods. So I have instant speed Delirium by putting a sorcery in the yard and then discarding a swamp. I think that's going to be a little bit better than this guy. And I could certainly make a case for Crypt Breaker, but I'm already kind of, you know, putting my attention on my discards to this guy. What do you think? All right, I apologize. It does seem like Charles is coming in and out a little bit, so I'm gonna go with my intuition here. I think having one mana open is fine. I think it's unlikely he's gonna have two spells to deal with this next turn. Um, and even if he does, I will have a 4/3 menace to at least get a little bit of equity back. 6 mana makes it a little bit more possible that he has two ways to deal with it, but it's
Yeah, I
unlikely.
mean,
Yeah.
well, that's less.
Yeah, it was always gonna be unlikely. So blue's just not a color that can really permanently deal with it. So he could do something like try to do something like sleep paralysis, but then he's gotta have like I can't think of a string of two cards in red blue honestly for 6 mana. I'm sure it exists. I just have to think harder than I think is necessary at the moment. So both of us are down to 6 minutes here. I don't think the clock's really a factor, but it's something to be aware of. Usually around this time is when I'll turn the pace up a little bit. But I think we're ahead enough. Hmm. All right.
Well, now getting that back to Foul Bloods doesn't look very good.
Should have known.
You're gonna discard now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just my plan. So it's when it attacks and doesn't block. All right. It's been a little while since I've played this card. But I imagine it's still as good as I remember it being. not 100% sure what's right here.
I would not discard the Dragoon.
Oh, I mean, you mean play it?
I would not play it. I would just keep it.
Yeah, I think so. I think now we are in that territory just because I'm going to want to. I mean, I could just flip this guy now.
Yeah, you can. But you're not gonna have two cards to make the Dragoon fly.
Yeah,
You're just basically playing it. If you're gonna play it, it's gonna be a blocker.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the
I
only
agree.
reason
I
to play
agree.
it.
Let's entice him into getting rid of removal spell.
Well, you might need the blocker now.
Oh, it's only for 3. I think we're still okay. Yeah, certainly if he was able to apply, more pressure early, if he wasn't caught, this would be a very, very uh, close to losing position for us. But I think we're still very likely to just get into attacks with this guy and win.
Well, the good news is that he does not have an instant or sorcery in his hand.
Unless it's really sweet.
Maybe. I feel like he just would have wanted another zombie.
I think I'm actually supposed to block here.
I'm fine either way.
I don't think I'm holding back as a desperate attack next turn. So I think saving 3 points of damage here and getting a creature off the board is basically doing as much as holding this guy back would do.
All right, works for me. I would also discard now, and I would uh, play the Dragoon. Well, he's only got one card in hand. Yeah, probably just play the Dragoon. Don't worry about this card now.
No, I don't want to do that. I mean, so I certainly think there's not really too much risk we're taking by
Okay.
discarding now, right?
All right. Well, just play it however you're gonna play it. You only got a minute and a half.
We've got 3.5 minutes.
I only see a minute and a half.
I've got 3.5. I don't think this is necessary to even play this really, but certainly gives us 2 lethal threats next turn. This is just a little too insidious for opponent, I think. All right. So that's round 1, and I'll see you guys for round 2 in a second.